Frame 84 coming out at you on a wonderful Thursday afternoon. We got our great guest, Ricky, joining us once again, the most requested guest back on the podcast due to popular demand. We got you. We got you back. Ricky, I had people coming up to me like, hey, your podcast's pretty good, but you should get Ricky on because y'all kind of fucking suck. It's rough, man. People are fucking mean. But, before we get into the great topics, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. You want to be a guest on Gutterball, hit us up on Instagram. I think that's the best. I used to say email, DM us, but go on Instagram. The link is in the bio. Just go to that, hit us up. But other than that, what's up, gentlemen? How y'all feeling? What's popping? What's new? Paul, what's going on?
Doing good, doing good. Kind of like a long week, busy week at work, but nothing super crazy. Pretty average week. Thanks for coming on, Ricky. How are you doing this week?
Good. It's been a busy week, but busy is good. I'll take it. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pleasure. Great.
Jackson, do you read much?
I try to read. The last thing I read was Blood Meridian by John I can't remember his name. John something. The dude that wrote No Country for Old Men.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and it's a fiction book. Have you heard about Blood Meridian, either of you guys?
No.
Okay, well, let me just kind of roughly sum it up. It is one of the most violent books I've ever read. It's about a kid who gets swept up in the Indian scalp trade in the 1800s. And I think the book starts off with the kid getting like his head bashed in and like fucked up like a 12-year-old kid. Very violent book, very controversial, very racist in some parts of it. But look that up. That one's like banned in a lot of places, but it's really, really good. It's called Blood Meridian. So I read that like 3 months ago, but I haven't read anything since.
Is it a long
So
book?
it's like 400 pages, maybe.
Oh,
I don't know. I
not
read it in
terrible.
like a week, but yeah, go read that. It's a good book. A lot
What
of
about
lessons in
what
there.
about you, Ricky? Do you read books much?
Yeah, but none of them are fun. None of them are, are fun books.
That's fair. See, like I'm at this like crossroads. Like lately, I've been thinking, and the more like I hear about it, is like I know I should be reading more other than like on a screen, right? Like actual book, because it's just good for you. And I don't know. I've been struggling to find the time to do it, and I think it's really important. I mean, even lately, some nights instead of like watching TV or doing something, I'll just like flip open a book instead. Um,
Mhm.
Super healthy.
it is, and like what's kind of pushed me to read more is like, have you guys seen the Silo TV show at all?
I've heard
Okay,
about it,
season
but I haven't
one's
watched
on
it.
Apple TV. They're getting a season two. I just watched it on the Plex. It's really good. I really like the
Mhm.
first season, and I don't want to wait for. It's a sci-fi show. I don't want to wait for like the other seasons to come out. There's a book series. There's 3 books that covers like the whole. I don't know if the show's gonna go past that or just stick to the books. So far, like I'm like maybe 6 chapters into the first book of the three. They're pretty dense. I think they're like six. Well, not that dense. 600 to 800 pages each book. Um, and I don't know, I'm just trying to find more time to read. And then now, like, as I get into like more managerial stuff for work, I'm trying to look for other avenues of being a leader, like learning leadership instead of just on the job. And I've been trying to find like good leadership books. And
Part of the
actually,
deal.
one of my coworkers recommended this one. It's really short. I haven't started it yet, but like good leadership's a team sport. I'm also trying to get into like outside of creative reading, kind of like what Ricky said. Is probably what he's reading isn't fun. Like I'm trying to get away. Like I want to read that stuff. It's fun when I have time, but I just think I'll gain more. Not only is it good for you, but you also learn more of something, right? Instead of just reading a
Mhm.
story. Um,
Yeah,
Right.
and
I
I
have
don't know.
some books I can send you on that.
On, like, leadership and stuff? Yeah, I'd appreciate it. I'm looking for, like I have, like my boss sent me, like, 3 or 4, and this was actually, like, the head of HR at my company. I was talking to her, and she handed me this one. She just had it on her desk.
I'm trying to remember. There's one by one of the. It's a good leadership book, and it's by the Navy, one of the Navy SEAL guys that killed Osama bin Laden or whatever. I'm
Oh,
racking. It's very
Mhm.
popular. I can't. I'm racking
yeah,
my brain for what's called.
I heard about
Um,
that. I don't remember his name, but I know that that guy made a book that was, like, selling extremely well.
that's a good.
Mhm.
That's a good book.
Okay.
Um, the last smart book I read was a year ago. I read The Gulag Archipelago by Alexander Solzhenitsyn, and that took a long time because that book is translated from Russian. Like, so you have to like look up the terms, but they give you like a little glossary at the bottom of the pages. But that wasn't a fun book. It was just detailing like firsthand account of being in a gulag. Very fucked up. But And then I started reading his other book, Cancer Ward. It was about his time in a terminal cancer ward where he thought he was going to die, but he got
Jesus
out.
Christ, this
And it
guy
was like,
only in bad places?
yeah, it was like right after the
Russian.
Soviet Union.
Yeah, that's
So I got halfway through that one. I didn't finish it. Very depressing. But yeah, those are the last non-fun books. But I haven't been reading anything lately. I want to. It's
Yeah,
just,
I've been off and on lately. I'm gonna really try. Like, you know how when somebody borrows you a book or something, you want to get it back to them immediately. At least that's my
Mhm.
mindset. It's like I don't even want this. You know, I'm gonna be forced to read that. And now that I think about it, the last full book I read was it's by Henry Carroll, and he's a photographer, and he makes a lot of small short books on like photography. And when I got my camera, I borrowed the book from my coworker, who also gave me my camera bag. He just gave it to me for free, the one that I brought to Norway, Rick, that you saw. And
Mhm.
I ended up buying that book because I liked it so much, and it's super helpful. Like, I'm dumb, and sometimes a Google search doesn't really explain to me in detail, like exposure and everything. And it's nice to just be able to pop open that book and be like, oh, yeah, shit. Like, this guy compares and contrasts it. This is how you do it. It's
I
because
saw that.
all that stuff's the same across like lighting, photography, cameras. It's all the same. I mean, obviously, how you do it on your camera is a little different than others, but I know my way around that Sony camera pretty good now. But now my problem is like, I haven't really used it since Halloween or like even Norway. And so like I need to get out and like use it in order to just like keep that skill up, you know, like just like
Mhm.
how the
Mhm.
usability of it. Um but no, it's funny you mentioned Russia, Jackson. And I know Ricky can likes this shit, but like I've been really looking at like old Russian like USSR like posters and like novelties and knickknacks. I'm probably not gonna
Hell
buy
yeah.
any until like, you know, I get the house and we figure out how we want to decorate it. But because
Yeah.
Nick Rochefort, from kind of Sam
Yeah.
Hyde's gang of guys, he has like some of those old posters for sale on his website,
I bought one for my
Chamonix
birthday
House.
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Those
get
are
it
Monica.
cool.
framed?
No, that's what we're waiting on. I'm just waiting on. We're gonna go to. I want it to be a nice frame. It's not a huge
Yeah.
poster, but frames get expensive, dude.
They
Dude,
Kind of
do.
surprising.
Yeah, I wanted to get this Primus one framed, but I might
you
get it
would
at
be
some point. I
you
just
would be
wanted it up.
surprised at the price of the frame on your wedding gift. I was like, it's
Oh
gotta
yeah,
be nice. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is
it is
nice
nice.
enough. Yeah,
Yeah, it's nice.
yeah.
Frames,
It,
frames are it's surprising.
It's ridiculous. Like I think I told you I got a bunch of like the Norway photos processed. And so when we move into the house, we made like an Amazon list that Destiny and I are collaborated on where we're like adding things to it. Not things we necessarily want to buy, but maybe things in the future, similar things, whatever. And I'm looking at just like frames for some of those photos I want to do, even the 8x10s or the weird panorama ones. And I'm like, good God. Like for one panorama frame, it's like $60 because it's an odd shape.
Mhm,
And it's like,
Mm.
whatever. But it's a nice frame. Like, you know, it's going to
mhm.
last as long as you don't fucking drop it. But yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. Um,
Yeah, are frames prone to not lasting long? I feel like I have frames for fucking years. Yeah, pretty good. I want to get like a museum quality one with the UV lighting and shit. It's all nice. The sun doesn't affect it. It goes off of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of these are nice. I want to get that Primus one. I'll get a nice frame, couple $100 frame for that bad boy.
you know what
But
you ought to get it is an exact replica of like the Declaration of Independence in that thick, crazy frame, like from National
yeah,
Treasure.
the
Get that on
glass.
the
Yeah,
wall. And then if somehow you can meet Nicolas Cage and get him to sign that, you're
that'd
looking
be it.
at you're looking at
There we
quite the
go.
No,
collectible
you're
item.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite the collectible item. Ain't worth shit. I've been watching this one guy on YouTube. Have you guys ever heard of the Dragonman before? He has this museum. He has like one of the biggest like military museums privately owned. Like I think like just like of rare collectible shit. I'm surprised you guys didn't hear about him. His name's Dragonman. He's in Colorado. Look up his YouTube videos; they're really cool. He has like shit from like concentration camps, World War II, a lot of that, Vietnam.
Is he the
Like
one that was getting flack not too long ago for having that stuff?
yes, because I'm gonna go into some of the things he has. Maybe he shouldn't have this in his possession. Okay, first of all, he for sure has I think over 50 operational tanks, like not ones where, oh, you got to put cement and take the thing out. No, these are operational, which is fine. He should have these because it's cool. But I was like, that's pretty gnarly. He has like one of the biggest German tanks like ever built. And the thing's just giant, dude. He's like fully operational. I got the cannon over here. Just needs to be screwed on. Good to go. He's like this old guy. He's all cool as
Yeah.
shit. One of the things he has, which I think is wild, is he has a Zyklon B. Now, for those who don't know what Zyklon B is, this is what they use to gas a certain type of people in a certain type of war. And he has over 50 unopened canisters of Zyklon B. And the way he holds this stuff, he's just like, yep, listen to this. It's in there. It's in there. If this thing would, if I was to puncture this, we'd all be dead in 5 fucking minutes. He puts it down. Yeah, that's the good stuff. He's just fucking insane. This guy's wild. He's like, don't touch that. He's got God, what else does he have? He had some crazy shit. Like the only Nazi gun belt buckles, there's only 5 of them made. He has one of them, and they're like made for one of the highest SS like Nazis. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wild.
Yeah, no, that guy's wild. I'm surprised you guys haven't seen that, but just the way he fucks with the Zyklon B and stuff, it's great. He's like throwing it like a football and stuff, and I'm like, this is crazy, dude. You can't be doing that shit,
dude.
But
the Nazis obviously horrible, but like out of all like the rulership of like just across the entire world, like over time, like as far as militaries and stuff. Aside from like the Greeks and Romans having badass armors, the Nazis had pretty clean looking uniforms, especially for their decorated officers.
He has all of them. Literally, he has every single uniform that was issued to him. No, he's talking about the belt buckles, the one with the guns on it that like open up and they shoot people. They can actually kill you. Like,
yeah.
Legit. Yeah, there's literally only 5 of them made for SS soldiers. He has the first one. He's like, you'll never see this again. But the way he talks about it is so funny. He's like, now let's say I was an SS officer and people came in and they tried to, he's putting himself into the SS officer's, fucking uniform here. He's like, let's say I was an SS officer, these people come busting in, they take away my guns, little do they know my belt buckle, and I shoot my way out of here. He's like, I'll give the Nazis credit. They're very smart people. He's like, let's go on. I swear to God. So he talks very highly of the Nazis. He's like, yeah, you see this picture? You see this picture where they got the big like iron clamp around this dead guy's head? Yeah, look, that's the iron clamp. That's the same one in the picture. You see that? And I'm like, you see that? I'm like, you shouldn't have that. Oh, I got Holocaust like survivors tags, and I'm like, why do you shouldn't have those? Go put the go get those. I don't know, man. It's just bad juju to have in your possession, dog.
The belt
that
buckle.
Guy's wild.
The belt buckle, is it just like a little Derringer? Like, do you know what caliber it shoots? How many bullets it holds?
It's a 22.
Like a one-shot? It's 22.
If you look up Dragonman Nazi, he has 2 videos that goes through his museum, dude. But it's underground too, so it's in like a bunker, dude. It's weird. It's gnarly. Like you'll be surprised amount of shit.
It already sounded like when you mentioned these tanks, he's got a lot of money. My assumption is he would have it in some type of fucking vault or bunker. Yeah. Well, I mean, like you would have to have that kind of money in order to go collect and get that shit. I'm sure a lot of those things he acquired was like name a price kind of deal, right? Like he probably wasn't. I mean, like I'm sure he's trying to get a better deal on things, but to have like some of like the first of like 5 made, like you gotta have that dough,
So much money. I don't know what he did, but yeah, he has a whole like arms range and shit. That's what he does. But he has all the guns and stuff they use, like the MP40s and stuff. The Nazis know how to make a good gun too. Those things are cool, dude. Like those are gnarly. He's like shooting one off. But yeah, he also has the whole Vietnam stuff. He has like the trap set up and shit. Like this is how they would set up a trap, in Vietnam and whatever. So that guy's cool. I want to go to his museum. You can go there, I think, or maybe it's closed. I think it might be closed since they didn't want people going in there with all the Zyklon B or something. It's just sitting on the table. It's not even like not hidden.
I was gonna say that would pay itself off if he somehow got it into like set it up like a museum and you could walk through. But you would have to. Yeah. With that much like merchandise and cool shit, you would want to have like big protective glass walls or shit.
No, that's the thing. Because that's why I don't know how he does it, because the shit's just open. There is stuff in glass, but a majority of it's up top, just sitting. Like you can grab the Zyklon B, like you can pick it up. It was just sitting there, like a novelty. I'm like you gotta have a lot of security or it's a lot of trust in these people going in the museum, dude. That's why I think it's closed. Like Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's cool though. Very interesting to me. I like that guy. Shout out to that guy.
Okay, sounds fucking cool.
Anything on your guys' mind? Anything hot off the press?
We could talk about the NFL. I mean, we're getting pretty close to the Super Bowl here. What do we have? 2 games left, and then we'll have our Super Bowl people.
That's right. Teams. That's right. On Sunday, 2 games left. The Lions made it all the way to the championship.
Ricky's a big Lions fan. So who are they playing? Who do they got to beat?
They have to beat the 49ers, and the 49ers are super talented, so we'll see.
They are, yeah. I mean, and then what is it? The Ravens versus the Chiefs is the other game?
Yeah. Yep. Taylor Swift versus the Ravens.
The Ravens are pretty scary this year. They seem to be. I think they have the best record in the entire league for teams that are remaining.
Yeah, they should win. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. Doesn't matter who they play.
Wild prediction. I probably won't remember. I think it's going to be a Lions Ravens Super Bowl.
I'd be so happy. That'd be fucking crazy. They've never even been to the Super Bowl. So
The Lions never
Either
been
of
to the
them?
Super Bowl, huh?
they've never been to the Super Bowl.
How
They haven't won a
embarrassing.
playoff game since 1991. So
Oh my god.
there
Jesus
we go. And
Christ.
we're all the way here.
Don't you
Yeah.
just scrap the team after 3? You're like, all right, we're done. We're out. Like, isn't that how that goes? I thought it was like UFC. You lose a couple fights, you're out. You're out of here, Buster.
That's different though. Tony's on a 7-fight skid and they still haven't fucking cut him. I think it's got to do with like how long you've been around in like MMA, but the UFC is different than a lot of other organizations. You'll see other organizations drop fighters even if they have wins, just because they don't have marketability.
I think Dana wants to keep him so he can see the first death in the octagon.
Yeah,
Like, I'm gonna turn this
probably.
guy's brain to soup in this.
Dana's even said
Even
he's like he
scared.
really needs to retire. Get rid of him. He's like, Tony, please retire.
Yeah. No,
Please
I'm not
retire.
gonna do that.
They do.
No, I don't know a lot
clean
about
house, though.
football.
They like, as far as like, if you 3 years and you'd suck, the head coach is probably gone. Right? The
Oh,
head coach
yeah.
is probably gone.
Yeah,
A lot of the players are probably traded away or just cut. So there's been
'Cause-
many iterations of Lions that never made it very far.
Because we saw it with the Vikings, like they gave Zimmer a lot of chances. And he was good at first, I think, and then just like, I don't know, the team just wasn't doing well. And then the Vikings did like okay start this year and then did terrible like they usually do. I don't know. We also had like a lot of like every other team this year had a ton of injuries to like a lot
Well,
of important people.
Our main guy, Kirk Cousins, gone. He was gonna
Yeah.
be. He could have won MVP if he was healthy. He was playing lights out.
Yeah.
And then he just out for the whole season. And I don't even know. No one knows if he's even going to be back next year because we got to re-sign him. So who
Oh,
knows?
that's interesting.
You got to take that into account because when I watch football with my dad or it's just on, I'm like, they should take off the helmets, take off all the padding, and then to play football. But also, I don't know, put some like obstacles, put like a laser field on or like electrical field on the, the field. I don't know, something like that. Some like swinging ropes you have to go over like an alligator pit or something. I don't know. And a
It'd
little
be funny.
interesting.
It'd be funny if
Switch it
it
up
was
a little
like
bit.
one of those platformer games, like Temple Run or something, where they have like intermittent patches of treadmills that are going the opposite direction, so you'd have to avoid them. Or
Yeah.
you get slowed
right,
down,
like that.
or like quicksand pits on the field. And that'd make
Yeah.
football way more
Yeah, but-
entertaining because it already has way too many
Team to pick
fucking
up
rules.
yards.
Yeah,
Put a
yeah.
bottomless pit. How about a pit that just keeps going? That'd be awesome. I don't know.
That would be
I have a hard time, I guess, with any type of sport where people aren't hitting each other. Like
Or
hockey, though,
like
a little bit
there's
more.
places
they're
on the
hitting each other.
oh they're hitting each other.
Oh
hard.
yeah, I guess yeah, and they
know,
tend to really fuck them
the
up. I
sup-
guess.
Well, I mean, the surprising thing is there's way less injuries if they take the pads away, because the guys will hit each other
If
at
they
a
can go
speed
that
that,
hard.
yeah, they'll hit each other
Affects
thinking they're
them.
invincible. If they
Mhm.
don't have any pads on, like rugby, way less injuries in rugby, way less traumatic brain injuries. Exponentially
Yeah, one else.
more in the
Yeah,
NFL.
right.
And
Okay,
rugby
that makes
players,
sense.
pro
yeah.
rugby players that go to the NFL can't take the physicality. Like you get hit, you're seeing stars every time.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
And you got to get up, do it again.
That's
guess
the same with boxing. People
yeah.
don't realize the hands, the gloves don't protect the hand, or they protect the hands, not the person. So that means you get hit as hard as you fucking want. Versus bare knuckle, I mean, you can only throw like 40% power because if you throw 100, you're gonna break your fucking hand
Yeah.
in their skull.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, bare knuckles interesting. And then you got like MMA, which was kind of in between where they just use a smaller 4-ounce glove and it's like you can hit hard, but like I still don't think there are certain places on the body you can't hit. Like even this just happened to Kevin Holland, like when he fought Wonder Boy, is like he punched him like square in the forehead on accident. He wasn't trying to land there and he broke his fucking hand. Like it's just like that's why you're not supposed to hit here. You know how hard that is? You're supposed to hit like here and
Yeah,
here,
urban survival training. He's like, someone's gonna punch you. Make sure you put your head right in front so they crack your hand. He's like, you can't do that.
It's still gonna fucking hurt.
Yeah, right.
Like
No,
when
for
Wonder
real.
Boy got hit with that shot, he was like he
Yeah.
stumbled backwards, like
Yeah, for real. Yeah, no, I like bare knuckle. I just like watching Mike Perry. That's the only guy I really know.
yeah,
Does
because he's
stuff.
the king of bare knuckle. He's like the guy. Like he's like the McGregor of BKFC. The dude was like a semi-okay fighter in the UFC and then goes to do bare knuckle and the guy's just a fucking monster. And it's not I wouldn't say he's the most talented fighter in BKFC because we've seen better, but he can inflict the most damage on you, and he's got that dog in him. He doesn't give up. He does
He's
not
got
give
that
up.
dog in him. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Got
Yeah,
that, like
a lot of fighters have that. I like how you described that though. He's got that dog in him, man.
He
He's got that
does,
dog.
dude.
Like Mike Perry, like he just fought Eddie Alvarez, and Eddie Alvarez was winning. He made Eddie Alvarez give up on the stool because he busted both his orbitals.
Oh yeah, yeah.
and you look at Mike, he's like, "I won." His face is just destroyed.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's at it.
And then
God.
remember, he fucking like around this time last year, I think, knocked Luke Rockhold's teeth out and made him quit. Like both his front teeth. He took off the mouth guard and they were gone. They were chipped.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Jesus
Like
Christ.
Luke Rockhold's like, I'm done. And the ref just like waves it. And then like Mike's like, I did it. And he's all fucked up. Like
Savage. That guy's sick. And he doesn't look like it.
He doesn't. And I'll never forget in the UFC, he was going to do his walkout, for one of his fights. And they were supposed to play the Halo video game theme song, the dun 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 dun, but they ended up playing Beyonce's Halo, whatever. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, he's like walking out. He's like, what the? He's like, fuck it. And he starts dancing to it anyways.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I would like to see him come out to Halo. Should do that.
Yeah, sick.
I don't think he has a fight scheduled right now. There is a BKFC event this Saturday. There's no UFC this Saturday. I don't know if I'll watch BKFC this weekend. I don't know. It's kind of like I'll drop into it every once in a while, but for me, there's not enough like big names or fighters that I really care about on a lot of these cards. I mean, it's really cool though when you see ex-UFC fighters go there, but it isn't cool when you see ex-UFC or MMA fighters go that should have retired. Like, that's what I fear with Tony, is he's just going to be like, oh, well, if the UFC cut me, I'm going to go do BKFC. And it's just like, please don't.
Please do.
Yeah, why?
I want to see some more Tony.
He's mentally ill, like every other fighter around his age. And it's time, Tony. Hang him up. You got nothing left to prove. He was interim champion. He never got to be true champion. Age got the best of him. Gaethje broke him.
Short on cash, like, retire. You're going to be a puddle, dude.
I know. And it's like
his best years are ahead of him. You guys are just doubting. I'm the real Tony fan here. He still got it. He can swap divisions easily. Bare knuckle. Dude, he might excel in that. You don't know. Could be really good, like Mike Perry. Could do
sharp elbows. You can't.
Yeah.
Well, see, Mike Perry, I think, might be 35. It's different though. Mike Perry's still like, you could consider it his prime, but he's on the tail end. Like I know with football, you can get some quarterbacks up into their 40s. They typically retire early 40s, sometimes even late 30s at the earliest.
Yeah, usually late 30s.
And
like,
that's
like
how
Brady
fighting is too.
Huge outlier. They can't,
Yeah. Well, that's how the UFC is. Like, you have a few fighters that are 40 or over. Andrei Arlovsky's like 43. He used to be heavyweight champion. He still fights. He has a crazy big record. And he's still winning every once in a while, but he's had a few losses here and there. Like, it's kind of like when you get to be that age, if you still can compete, it's kind of like a coin flip, whether you're going to win or lose, especially depending on like who you're going against. But then you got guys like Jim Miller that I think just turned 40 and are on like 3 or 4 fight win streaks and have just finished their last couple opponents. Like,
hell yeah.
I think I sent you that one, Ricky. I captioned it, "Get off my lawn." It was like 30 seconds into the first round. That was Jim Miller just TKOing that kid.
Yeah.
And like fucking, like that kid, Jim Miller, he was supposed to fight somebody else. That kid took it on like 2 days notice and he just flatlines him in like 30 seconds.
Rough.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's why fighting just so fun to watch, because it can literally be as simple as the knockout is, oh, you put your head in the wrong spot. That's it. Like, you could be the better fighter, but you just fucked up, Just so crazy.
Who makes a mistake first, just like boxing.
Really, who makes mistake first, 100%. Especially if they're good, yeah.
We'll get off UFC talk here in a second, but I want to mention that Jim Miller is fighting. He's going to be he's going to fight at UFC 300. He fought at UFC 100 and 200. That's how long he's been around in the UFC. So he's going to be fighting at the 300th pay-per-view, and he's fighting Bobby Green. They just announced that a couple days ago. So it's going to be Bobby's coming off a really bad KO from Jalen Turner.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Where they just like, the ref wouldn't call it. They just watched Bobby die. Like,
his
Bobby,
hands start
no.
doing this thing.
Oh yeah, I watched
Yeah.
that at work. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's all I saw crippled. Oh
Yeah.
no. Yeah, no, I saw a comment about Bobby where they're like, Bobby's at the point where he could knock he can knock anyone out, but also get knocked out by anyone at the
Yeah.
same time or some shit
Um,
like that. He's a menace.
People were saying Bobby Green is treading on Michael Johnson territory. Michael Johnson's a lightweight fighter.
Yeah.
He's still in the UFC. They call him the coin flip fighter because any day he could beat the champion and be the champion of the world. He's knocked out like crazy prospects, people he wasn't supposed to, or beat them some other way because he has really fast hands. But then he gets clipped like he did in his last fight and gets like curled up, knocked out. Like it's like on like his best day, he can be the champion. On his worst day, he can get his ass kicked by the fucking milkman. It's crazy. And I think Bobby Green's kind of treading on that territory, but also Bobby's getting older too. Like, I don't know. So tying up UFC talk, my first prediction happened, but it didn't go through as planned. I was wrong. I said at UFC 297 for the middleweight title, Sean Strickland was the middleweight champion. He was defending it against Dricus du Plessis. I said Strickland was going to win via decision. It did end up going to decision, but it didn't go Strickland's way. And what did you guys think about that fight? Did either of you watch any of that fight? See any highlights?
I got the Twitter highlights. And my prediction was right. I said Sean would lose, and I was right. So
You were right.
shout out to me. I was right. Yeah, where's my? I thought we bet. Didn't we bet like 20 or something? Roll that back.
We didn't
quick.
bet
We
shit.
20.
Someone go
Yeah,
find that clip then and send it because it's bullshit. It doesn't exist.
Nah, I bet somebody. I'll don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just believe me. Just trust me what I say. No, but glad Crybaby Sean didn't win, though. I do still no respect for the man. But I saw his merch was pretty funny. He said a gun in every hand and a woman in every kitchen. Sean Strickland 2024.
Yeah,
And I thought that was pretty funny. It's not gonna buy it, but it's pretty funny. It's the truth. But yeah, I'm glad it went in my favor. So that's all I can say.
Even though Sean's kind of cringy at times, I think he was like a staple entertaining champion. I don't think Dricus is gonna be that. So it's like I feel like the middleweight division is gonna be kind of boring with Dricus on top. We'll see though. Is he gonna be like Strickland, where Strickland literally got the belt like 3-4 months ago and went and defended it right away? Or is he gonna be like these Russian champions that defend their belt once a year, which I think is kind of bullshit. It's like you should have to be active as a champion.
I bet he's gonna be like the Russians. And the UFC wanted Sean to win because he got so much attention.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
it would have been good for the UFC for Sean to win.
Even though it doesn't matter, Dana White thought that Sean won the fight, and he basically said in the press conference after that, he's like, obviously, like, I don't make the rules, like the rules are by the commission, whatever, state to state, but he said, I still think you should have to prove that you are the champion in either a very, like, say it goes all 5 rounds, you would have to be dominating the champion 3 of those 5 rounds. Now, the only thing Dricus did, in my opinion, that got him that win, and I know they score round by round, is because he fought an MMA fight. You know Strickland, he fights a boxing fight. He doesn't do much grappling anymore. He doesn't do many kicks here and there, you know. But like,
He used the Philly shell against Israel Adesanya and won the entire fight.
Yeah,
That's all he did
yeah.
was
And
boxing.
Dricus mixed it up though. He was throwing body kicks. He was throwing the occasional head kick. Dricus got 6 takedowns on them, even though he did nothing with them. You know.
Did you
He
see
did
the
have more
swelling
control.
on his face after? Did you see Dricus is swelling? on
Oh,
his
that
face after the
jab that
fight?
he kept eating from
He's like-
Sean.
yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
It was-
And supposedly, so you know how like they also score on damage as well?
Mhm.
Strickland was bleeding, but Dricus wasn't. Typically, blood looks like worse, and you can
Right.
go look. I don't know. Strickland complains there was a headbutt. I looked at the replay. It did kind of look like an unintentional headbutt that did cut him open. Who knows how true that is, if it actually came from that? I don't know.
Are we good? Because Ricky's camera's frozen for me.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, hey
Yeah.
Ricky, do you want to
Okay.
toggle
Is
your
it?
camera off and on? Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I was just
Really?
making. I
Yeah,
was
no,
like,
no
am I
worries.
gone? Because this will happen. I'll be like, oh, I'm gone. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's all
Continue.
good. I didn't really have like much else to say about it. But
No, it's just Sean is 100% more entertaining. Cried on camera. Very, very shameful. As a fighter, I just can't believe it. That's all I got to say about him. Like the man, I think he's funny. But yeah, honestly, now you mention in terms of like entertaining, it would be cooler if he was a champion. Also, it should be like a minimum of 4 fights a year, at least 3 or 4, right? As a champion, shouldn't that be some type of? There's got to be something written in the contract. What's
No.
fair? 3
No.
defends a year, I think is
now,
fair.
don't get me wrong. Injuries and all that shit come into play, so it wouldn't be fair if like that was the case, right? You're good, Rick. It wouldn't be fair, like, if you got injured and like there have been champions though, like Jamal Hill and Yuri Prohaska, light heavyweight champions. They were both champions in like the last 2 years, and they both got injured, and they vacated the belt. Number one, very dumb to do because you ain't getting that championship money, but kind of a good sportsmanship thing to
You
do.
should
Though.
honestly.
I'm gonna be out for a year because I tore my entire fucking shoulder rotator and need reconstructive surgery. So I'm gonna vacate the belt so the division can move on. Like that's pretty baller of you to do that.
Good.
But I don't think that should be required. But I do think I feel like Dreykus is probably not going to defend that belt more than twice a year, if not maybe once. And that's like the problem is Strickland's so let's go, fuck it. He wanted to fight immediately at 300 after this one. Should he have beaten Dreykus? So I don't know. I can respect the high turnaround.
They if you get injured, that's part of the sport, man. You got to vacate the belt. Honestly, it's tough. I know you're gonna be out for a year. If you're really a champion, come back and get it. I don't know. That's the way I look at it.
Usually when you
already got it, give someone else a chance to go and get it. You know what I mean? Because they can't fight you, so it's lame as hell.
Usually too, though, Jack. When they do vacate, or they are they do vacate the belt, or very rarely do they strip the belt if they're out for too long or just inactive. They usually, when they come back, get a first shot. They're number one contender. They get a shot back at the belt kind of deal. Or they're next in line after whoever they line up, depending on where the division's standing.
Yeah.
But yeah, enough UFC talk. We'll talk about the other predictions here in the future. But yeah, Dreykus beat Strickland. I think it was pretty fair and square. But again, I don't know, man. It was a kind of a toss-up. I mean, you look at the striking percentages. Sean outstruck him, but also Dreykus just did more to mix it up. And it's an MMA fight after all, so.
Yeah. Well, that's all we got for UFC today.
Oh yeah.
We always got to do 10 minutes of UFC every cast. So get used to it, all right?
No.
Get used to it. Yeah.
We do it every other cast, so.
No. If you say so, I'll believe you.
We never did Song of the Week. Is it too late to do it?
Oh, no. No. Yeah, it's probably too late. I don't know. You can do your Song of the Week. What's your Song of the Week?
What's your Song of the Week?
Mine isn't much as a song. I guess it is a song. It is a song, but I've been listening to Duck Boy Excalibur, which I really like.
I listened to that. You posted that on your story.
Is Ruby the Cherry's alter ego, where he does his punk stuff, but the music video was really, really good. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It reminds you of something like a Dragon's Quest or some shit from 1980 or something. It's cool. Have you seen the music video? Any of you guys? Paul, have you looked it up?
No, I haven't.
Go peek at it. Just look at it for a second.
What
go
was
type
the song
it in right
called
now.
again? What was it?
Excalibur by Duck Boy. I just like the way it's filmed. It's got that old grainy, and it feels like you're kind of watching Monty Python a little bit. It's the pacing is really weird, but other than that, it's a solid song. I really like it. Music video is weird as hell, but yeah, that's my Song of the Week. I've been bumping that religiously. I like it.
I'll give you my Song of the Week, but first, since you mentioned a music video, a cool music video I saw it released today is Bone. You know how Bones is always releasing music videos for songs from fucking 10 years ago sometimes?
Yeah.
He did one for My Own Personal Hell, and that just kind of, I love that old retro style he does where it's a 480p camera, an old Sony tape. I don't know. I just think those music videos are cool. But
it's so funny you mentioned that. I played it on TV with Dad, and he's like, "This is terrible." Well, Bones going at it. That's from an album that came out a couple months, like 6 months ago or something.
Yeah, it's not super old. So my Song of the Week, and it's by a band that. Well, let's just say I was going through an emo phase when I was in middle school. So I don't know. I sometimes revisit that type of stuff every once in a while. Just be like, oh, it's nostalgic. Yeah, I was really edgy as a kid. Cool. But the band was called The Devil Wears Prada. Not a lot of people know this, but The Devil Wears Prada. It's our brother actually played with them before. They were big at one point, when we were in middle school. But the song is called Hey John, What's Your Name Again? I don't know. I just think it's a pretty heavy song. Ricky wouldn't like it. But those listening that are into heavier stuff might like it. But yeah, check out Hey John, What's Your Name Again by The Devil.
You gotta gloss over. Oh yeah, our brother played with him. Go ahead. I didn't know this. Elaborate a little bit. This is what people want to hear.
That's all Sam told me, because our brother Sam used to be the lead vocalist in a really heavy band called 29 Dead in a Baghdad Cafe. They named it that because they were at a Denny's or something, or like a Perkins for breakfast, and they all went to go eat, the whole band, and they didn't know what to name the band. They had already been playing for like a few weeks, and then like the waitress like throws down the newspaper, and the headline's 29 dead in a Baghdad cafe from like a bombing, like a suicide bomber. And so they just went by 29 dead for short. But yeah, he was kind of in that metal scene when he was like, I don't know, late teens, early 20s, before the band broke up. But he played with like some earlier metalcore bands that ended up kind of getting labels and stuff. And he always said, like, if the band would have stick together, he thinks it could have gotten a label too. Like, they had a really good following, like, locally for shows. I mean, Ricky, I know, Aaron goes to a lot of those local shows. They had a pretty big following, but then the band broke up and they just kind of went nowhere after that. Obviously, they didn't really pursue, none of them really pursued music anymore, but shit happens.
Should do indeed happen. But anything else about your song of the week?
No, Ricky, do you have one? Do you have a song that you've been listening to you want to share with everybody?
I've been listening to what, I don't know how to say it. It's just a date, but 2299 by the Mexican OT. I've been bopping that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my friend listens to that. Not really into him that much. It's all right though.
I'll check it out.
This is the first song that kind of caught my attention so far. I don't like I looked at his older stuff. I like what is it? It's like a T or a D roll that he does with his tongue. I've never heard that in rap before, and I kind of like that. I was like, okay, like he's purring to me. He's not even rapping.
Purring you a little bit.
I really do think you would like I think you would get on the BLP kosher train. I think you just need to listen to him a little more. He's a little sus. Okay. If you just don't pay attention to how he looks or look at anything like that,
honestly, watching his Nardwuar, he seems like an actually super intelligent dude. And that's what made me like him more. I'm like, okay, he seems all right. Because I don't know, you can go listen to some Nardwuar and figure out how dumb artists really are. Just hear talking legitimately. But yeah, I
think it's also crazy how good he is at skateboarding. Like he's actually like stupid good. Like he'll just like shred a park. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy is just a rapper skate rat. It's pretty sick. Oh, him and Puya were skating. That's so.
Yeah.
When's the Puya feature gonna come out?
I don't know. They do add each other a lot and stuff like that when I use Instagram and stuff. But that'd be cool. He had Christ Dillinger on a couple tracks, so that's pretty neat.
Oh yeah,
bringing people up and shit. Yeah, right.
Christ Dillinger's the king of just like shitting out anything and everything. That dude's got new music like every other day. And then he puts together he'll go off on any beat. I feel like if you just send him a beat, he'll do it. He'll do it.
Yeah, right. He doesn't care. Yeah, I run up on your block with the silly ass beat. I love that line.
Yeah.
It's some weird shit. It's like the Shrek theme song or something remixed.
Yeah, there'll be like 10 verses in a row about feet.
Yeah. Why are you on the left selling pictures of feet? Why are you letting it sell pictures of feet? If you're underneath me, you'd be back with the feet. And he's like, yeah, this is so much. This person I hang out with, they like that shit rap. They like 1,000 gex and stuff. I can't do 1,000 gex, but at least they like Christ Dillinger, so I can do that. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is about 1,000 gex.
Who was the guy that was like the goofy rap? It was Ugly God. Was it Ugly God that would do like the swag Bernie Sanders? Dick Law, Bernie Sanders. Have you remember that one?
No, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I don't know who that guy is.
Look up Ugly God, because he was kind of like a shitter rapper, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 years ago. And then there's like that whole other category of gay rap, which is like an actual genre. Yeah,
I do like gay rap.
Look up Dig Bar gay raps. Like that's all the rap is just super gay, which is fine.
He'd allegedly had walked,
but it's like really hood though. Yeah.
All my he'd always play the one. All my homies waking up taking booty pics, and it's like, what the fuck? It's just so fucking stupid. Oh my god, yeah. I'd come in the back room of a restaurant. He'd be blasting that some shit, and I'd be like, what's going on here? In the Ram Ranch. What are you guys' favorite like shit rappers that you listen to kind of ironically?
Honestly, it's like I don't even think he's like that shit, because I think he does have some okay songs, but he does have a lot of like shit. Christ Dillinger lately off the top of my head, but like I don't know. Other than that, kind of hard to think of off the bat. What about you, Ricky?
That's a good point.
Anything?
I mean, I genuinely enjoy him, but it's like it's definitely not good rap, but I like Riff Raff. I fuck with Riff Raff.
Oh yeah,
right.
Okay, yeah, that's
good. Yeah,
I don't know, because
it's not good. I love him.
Some of it's okay. There are some songs that are
No,
like,
it is.
I
I
don't
want a
disagree.
Ferrari. I like that one. I like that one.
Yeah,
Have you
well-
heard the "Don't Want to Give Up My Truck" song he made?
yeah, like the country
that one's
song.
good.
Yeah.
I like the Snow White and the 7 Grams. That's like one of his like earlier songs.
I like Tommy Trapezoid. That's an early song.
That's a good one. Yeah. You're
Um,
always on the new Riff Raff.
Oh yeah, I do like Riff Raff a lot. It's interesting
Gucci
because
sweater is actually beautiful.
It
I'm
is
not gonna
good.
lie.
I like
it's
that blue.
fantastic.
I like that Blue Jay song he recently made. It's kind of like a different vibe.
I don't think I've heard it yet.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's
I
called
haven't
Bluebird or Blue Jay. It's pretty good. No, what Riff Raff made his name off of just like rapping nonsense. Like, like it's
Mhm.
always about like the peanut butter leather candy paint, but like it's always a
Yeah.
different combination of cars and
Yeah.
type and like some action with the car or like expensive item like chain or whatever.
He's so hard on alliteration. He's got the teal tone lobster,
Yeah,
right? He's
yeah,
got-
yeah.
Yeah, him and Theo Vaughn are going back and forth and saying a bunch of fucking nonsense. The
Yeah.
buttercream beetle.
You saw that Nick Rochford had Riff Raff on like 3 weeks ago on his show.
Yeah, he was on there a couple times.
Yeah, they were reviewing
Really?
houses. Yeah,
They
he
reviewed
had,
houses together.
Oh,
He had-
shit, I had
yeah.
no idea.
go
Mhm.
go look it up.
Find that.
Watch
Yeah,
it.
Awesome.
and Nick says something that made Riff Raff go like, huh, like it was like an alliteration. You could tell like he wanted to add it to a song. It was something about like champagne corduroys, something that Nick said, and Riff
Yeah.
Raff was like, oh, like you
But
like that.
no,
Yeah.
He's into it.
It's
Yeah.
so funny because if you watch the old streams, you can tell Nick is like fanboying so hard. He's like, oh my god, because Riff Raff cuts out and he goes, oh my god, this is so fucking cool. Riff Raff's here. He cut out, but he's here. He's like all excited and shit. So
Yeah.
it's neat. Yeah, Riff Raff's pretty funny.
He's super funny, actually. He's actually very funny. Some of
what's
his
up with-
he's done like skits and stuff. Actually,
Oh yeah,
very
he's
funny.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
gonna be an MDE too. That's
Yeah.
what Sam was saying. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
yeah,
he's in the
supposed to be
sketch
in
too.
something with him.
That's fantastic. I
What
love
happened
that.
to Three Loco? Do him and Simon Rex, like Dirt Nasty, not like each other? I don't know about Annie Milonakis, but I don't know if they tell.
I
they
don't
never had-
know. Now that's a goofy. Now that's a ragtag team of people to have
Yeah,
a rap
I
group
hate that
that
little
never
freak.
exists. Yeah, you hate
That
Andy
little freak.
Milonakis.
Yeah,
Fun
he is
fact:
pretty fucking
my
annoying.
brother Sam hates them just as much. I showed
Yeah.
my brother Three Loco. I'm like, oh, you like
Man.
because Sam likes Riff Raff. So I
Yeah.
showed him that, and he's like, is that little freak from like MTV? He's like, get that thing out of my face. He was
Get out of
fucking
my
pissed,
face.
dude.
Yeah,
It's real.
he had a show. It's my show with Andy Milonakis. It's so garbage.
Yeah.
I got peas on my head. Don't call me a pea head. That shit's awful. It was
It's
on for like a
terrible.
year or something.
Can't do it.
He does like streams in Italy and stuff. I pop in and watch. him once in a
Dirt
while.
Nasty had some bars in those songs. Simon Rex wasn't
Mhm.
actually too bad, and Riff Raff was obviously like the star of the entire show. He was the actual hip hop artist, but yeah, Andy
Mhm.
Milonakis. It's hard to like that voice rapping. I mean, it's tough.
And his face and his jokes and the way
He
I'm
is
not
pretty
about it.
awful. I'm gonna be real. Him and Tom Green walking around in Tokyo harassing people is funny as fuck though. Tom is just going off on people. It's so stupid.
Every time I see that little video pop up where Andy's filming with the GoPro and Tom Green's at the table that has a zipper on it, do you know the one I'm talking about? There's like
Oh, I know. I
They're at
watched
like
yesterday.
a museum, and these two old people are walking up, and they're looking at this it's like a wooden table, but it's got like a big zipper down it, as if it's like the table's being zipped up. It's like an art thing, and Andy's filming, and Andy's like, oh, that's a pretty cool table, and Tom Green's standing in front of these two old people. He's like, hey, look at the table. He's like, pretty funny. It's like you unzip the table, kind of like you unzip your pants. And starts laughing like that in public, staring at these old people, freaking them the fuck out.
For minutes.
And it makes
It's for like a minute. Like
And
minutes.
then they
And he's
walk
walking
away.
away.
He just
Yeah.
keeps doing
He's like, oh my God. He'll go around and shake people's hands and not let go. Or my favorite one, which I kind of want to try, is he like, check out these Japanese people. You can fuck up so easy. Go point at the ground. He'll just look at it. And he keeps pointing at the ground. They're all staring. And he's like, man, he's just being a menace. They're a good duo. But yeah, I think I read something that Simon Rex and Riff Raff don't like each other or something. I don't know. I heard something about that.
That
I
would
was thinking we need
surprise me.
more. We need more Three Loco.
Um,
Bring them back.
Tom Green, the Tom Green show was so ahead of its time, dude.
Hmm
Like
It's
that-
funny as fuck. Some of
that one sketch where like he while his dad's sleeping, he took his Honda Civic and got the entire hood of the car like airbrushed with like what's it, like a lady eating another girl out on his dad's
Yeah,
like
the
92 Accord,
Smutmobile.
a Civic, and a Smutmobile, and he like busts out of the garbage can in the morning out front of the house, and his dad comes, looks at the car. Dad, what do you think? Look what I did to the car. He's got the microphone in his face. He's like, his dad just looks at him and just starts walking to the bus stop.
Yeah.
He's like, Dad, where are you going? What's wrong with it? And he's like, I can't believe you did that. I'm telling your mother, like, I'm taking the bus to work. If I pull up in that, I'll get fired. Like,
It's like two lesbian bitches eating each other out, like really good quality and detail.
Yeah.
Like obviously they blurred him. You know what's happening on there.
Yeah.
And he paints his parents' house like it looks like a goddamn Dr. Seuss house. Like legitimately just paints it. And it's just like, what the fuck? That was like before Jackass, and then Jackass came along, and Bam Margera started putting fucking alligators in his parents' home, and setting fireworks off, beating up his dad and shit. That was wild. That's a wild time. You don't see that anymore. That's the best Jackass sketch where he puts the alligator in his parents' home.
I don't know.
Would you want to do that to your parents? How fucking funny that would be.
I don't know, man. I thought it was pretty funny when his stepdad Phil was taking a shit, and he goes in there. They just start hitting him with boxing gloves while he's on the toilet.
Yeah, it just starts fighting
And
them.
it's like 3 a.m.
Poor Bam Margera. His brain is soup now.
A lot of those
Sounds
guys.
right.
There's only a few that made it out of that. I mean, even Johnny Knoxville's a little screwy now ever since he got hit by that bull riding accident or whatever, right? Like he had
I
a
feel like
brain
he was screwed
injury.
before that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. He talks really slow now.
Yeah.
He'd be like,
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, you can watch this interview. They'll be like, so does it hurt more now or less that you've been hit this much? He's like, it hurt. It hurt the same. He's like, it all hurts the same. And you can tell this is like a month after his brain. He's like, he's fucked up. Like,
Yeah, I think he's gotten better over time, but the only one
yeah,
to really truly make it out and clean himself up is Steve-O, even though he's still kind of
Yeah.
fucking crazy and does weird shit time to time. But
can't wait till he gets his tits. Says he's gonna
Yeah,
get breast
he
implants.
said
That's
he's
his
gonna
next
get
big
breast
adventure.
implants next.
That's
Fuck
right.
that.
I heard that's like dangerous. Like if you don't have the skin to stretch, like like if
He
to go
does
from
not.
nowhere, that can get infected really easily. Yeah.
Be really funny if they
Um,
use somebody else's skin that's a different tone.
That would be actually fucking awesome. You just want to wear black tits or something, It'd be only that, right? What are the skin tone? What are you just gonna get Asian tits or something? Like they're not big at all. So that'd be ridiculous on him. That'd be the funniest shit ever though, if he did. I guess if you say he made it out, I don't know. He's still out there. He's pretty cringe, honestly, a little bit. I don't know.
I think
His
Chris
fan base
Pontius
is
made
pretty
it
cringe.
out, and the professional shitter made it out. Dave England. Dave England was a big fucking baby.
Wee Man is good. Yeah,
Yeah,
Dave
Wee Man's
England is a
fine.
baby. Yeah. All he didn't want to do anything. He didn't want to
Yeah,
do
he's
anything.
always he's getting stung by the bees or playing beehive tetherball. Steve-O's getting stung like a man. He's like, Dave England's just fucking like, I don't want to play anymore. He's
Steve
running
was
away.
off of like 10 drugs that day, though.
Yeah,
Dave
that's fair.
probably wasn't, to be fair. So, but who
Beehive
knows?
tetherball. What an idea, though.
Yeah, what an
Whatever.
idea.
Jesus Christ.
When's the last time you guys have seen a tetherball pull with the
Never.
ball on it?
I've never seen a tetherball.
They
pull,
used to
like,
have
ever.
one at our elementary school, Lowell, before they redid the playground.
I don't know how to play it, and I don't want to know. But I don't know. Beehive tetherball sounds fun. I'd do it. I'd try.
I
once.
don't know much about tetherball, but I think like the gist of it is like, obviously you get a wrap, and then like you just keep hitting it back and forth until the one person completely wraps the ball around the side, like opposite of you, kind of deal. And then that's a point or whatever. I don't know how the scoring works,
Did I
but
play that in the Great Depression or something?
you know what? I'm gonna put a tetherball pole in my yard at the new house.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna fucking tear
Never
it down.
use it.
You stupid. Yeah, you never use it once. Why would you? I want man. I'd love like a bowling setup in my house, like with the machine and everything.
That would
'Cause I saw
Oh,
Scrim
you're
had
talking
one,
to the wrong guy here.
and
Ricky fucking hates bowling.
You hate bowling? Oh, I love
I don't
bowling.
do
I'm all about that. It's great because
It's fun.
yeah, I just like the people I hang out with too. They like to go bowling. I'm like, let's go, Nico. Let's go bowling. Let's go throw down a little bit. I'm just whipping it as hard as I can down the lane, dude. Because the more time it's in the air, the faster it gets. So like, if you just whip it and it doesn't touch the ground to right before the first ball, like that counts, right? It doesn't need to roll all the way.
Respect. Yeah.
Overhand throw it.
Yeah, I just whip it. It doesn't touch the ground at all. It's a way to play it. It's so
Skim
loud.
on the surface.
Those
Yeah,
dudes that
skim
are
on the
like
surface.
purposely skipping it across lanes as hard as they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy that just throws it into the fucking ceiling and he just does that. That's his thing. He just whips it into the tile. It's so fun. Bowling's sick though. I'd love one in my house. It feels
we
like
should
an
go bowling
embarrassing thing
soon.
to do.
That'd be a good time. I like
Yeah,
bowling.
I'll throw down, bro. You're running scared. I actually haven't bowled in a while, but I'll throw down. I bowl at 250.
No,
Even.
you fucking don't.
I bet I will. I'll bet you a nickel I do. You're going down, son. Yeah, that's fun. I like bowling. It's always perceived as being a loser sport, but I was saying we should have we should have a bowling league. I want because mostly I want a bowling shirt that we all matching shirts that say I don't know what's gonna be say Gutterball on the back, but that'd be gnarly. Let's get a bowling. Ricky, I know you hate bowling, but you might want to join our bowling league because we got cool shirts. That might be the selling point.
I'll be the team captain. I'll do the schedule.
Oh, okay. There we
And
go.
all you're
Just so
doing
you
is
get a cool
popping
shirt.
Zens and eating the pizza and appetizers we
Popping
get.
Zins and drinking beer. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned that because like lately I've been like, damn, I kind of want to get into like community sports, and like down here there's a lot of places to do that. And my company has a ton of like they have ice hockey or they have like pond hockey, they have pickleball, all this stuff. But now that I'm moving, I can't really do that. They also did have a bowling team for a while, but I was thinking like, man, if I go back up to Duluth, like there really isn't anything big, but maybe there's like a local bowling league or something. Bowling's just an
Why
idea.
don't we start our own? Like I was saying, I bet I can. I bet I could find at least 2 other people that'd be down for some bowling. We're on a tight schedule. We're playing 5 days, 5 nights a week, 2 hours.
No, maybe once a week.
We're going professional. We're going pro. We're going pro. 0 to the problem is you're gonna run across people that have been bowling since they're fucking 8, and I've been bowling since I was 18. So it's like it's not fair. I'm gonna get dunked on.
I would go bowling if it was one of those really old buildings where it's grandfathered in. You can smoke inside. I would go bowling.
Right.
So
I was at the bars the other day and I was like, I can't smoke a cigarette in here. I'm like looking around. I'm like,
dude,
why?
I swear to God,
right?
in Wisconsin, they don't care if you vape in the bars. They don't give a shit.
Vape. I've seen 100 people vape, but I want to smoke a cigarette. Vaping's I don't want it bad. We were talking about vape for the guests. They're disgusting. I hate them. Get them out of my face. I don't know. I'm on a 5-year plan. I start with the vapes for a while. I go to the Zens for a little bit. Then I go to the cigarettes. And then I do it one more time around the sun. Yeah. I'm on a cigarette phase.
Jackson, what was the bowling place called next to Mom and Dad's before it was the other place?
Oh, it was like,
what was it called?
It
the
wasn't,
OP, yeah.
Maybe I know
like,
it was, but it wasn't called OP Bowling because I know it.
Did you ever go there before it was the OP, Ricky?
Yeah, it was sketchy, dude.
Yeah, you could smoke in there for the longest time.
Like
I believe
I want to say it was like Star Bowling or something. It was always so dark in there, but not dark in terms of like neon lights. Like dark, like I might get stabbed or someone's in the shadow and I can't tell. It was always like very scary there. I didn't want to leave my dad. I remember being in there,
dude.
And then we bowl. Yeah.
Every other time you threw a ball, it would get stuck, and the dude would have to go down and unjam it every single fucking time. It was so just poorly maintained.
What was it? 5 games for $10 or some shit?
No, it was on Sundays. It was on Sundays. It was like 2 games for $5 and shoes for $5. So for $10, you could play 2 games and get shoes, and that's all it was.
Next time I'm there, I have to ask the name.
Did you go with Eric ever?
Well, I was just gonna say we never went bowling there, but they had. It was like the same building, but a slightly different thing. But they had donuts, and on Sunday their donuts would be dirt cheap because they're doing the new thing. And we'd always make Mary go in and grab it because it's just fucking it's sketchy in there, dude.
Yeah, the other side was a bakery for a while.
Then it was Toby's for a while because it was first private, and then it was. No, I got to find the name. I'm gonna find it and come back with it.
The other place, I do like what they did with it. I knew it was gonna turn into some bar and grill because it's right on the outskirts of like being on the country, but like not too far inland for those people, but then also right next to suburbs. I just think like just like everything else, man, it just sucks to see. Eating out's so fucking expensive now. Like you go to the everywhere you go, even down here it's worse, but up there it's like, oh, I want a burger and fries. It's $15 or like $20, and it's just like, well. Fast food's that much too now, though. So it's like you're better off just going to a fucking sit-down restaurant if you have the time.
You are.
Yeah, gotta hit up that all-you-can-eat Applebee's on Thursdays, $15.
Is that still a thing?
Perhaps. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Don't eat it.
Wings. But, you're not gonna like it. Be drunk at least a little bit before you put it near you.
It's Applebee's.
Yeah. Red Robin down here is just fancy Applebee's, and it gave me fucking the worst food poisoning I've ever gotten before. I will never fucking eat at a Red Robin again.
Fancy Applebee's.
The last time I was at Applebee's, I had like unlimited margaritas or something, Margaritaville. I don't know if that's Applebee's, but some kind of margarita thing.
Mhm.
And I can't remember who I was with. I just got a beer. They're like, "I'll get a margarita." I think it was Austin. I think he was on the stream last week or the
Yeah.
week
Shout out
prior.
Austin.
Shout out
Shout out Austin. And we went and it was the same kind of deal. And he's like, "I'll get a margarita." And it was the grossest, the grossest thing. The guy's like, "Okay," and he reaches under the bar, and I can see him. And there's just like a tub,
Yeah,
like a
that's what they
plastic
do.
tub.
That's so
And
cheap.
you just scoop it out, and I'm like, "Oh my god, jungle juice? I don't know."
Yeah, it was jungle
Yeah.
juice.
That's
Yeah,
why
the
they're
big
so
tub.
cheap. You know, it's funny.
Full
Before
trash
you even
cans flipped
mentioned that,
over.
I was gonna say the only thing I know about that place is the martinis are disgusting and all the food is basically microwaved. And I never really liked Applebee's. I've only been there a select few times. The one at the mall in Duluth. We don't have a Grizzlies in Duluth anymore, do we? They're all gone, aren't they?
Yeah, they're gone. I don't. Yeah, we
I
definitely
believe so.
don't. Oh, wait,
Grizzlies
no,
restaurant.
we don't. We don't. Yeah, we definitely
Because
don't.
it's not in Canal. Well, there is still one in Superior, and I will say this, guys. Grizzlies wings and stuff kind of slept on. Go get their boneless wings. You will not be
Mhm.
disappointed. Like
Okay.
honestly, like
Chicken
probably
nuggets.
other than like the Wide World of Wings, in Superior, they're probably the best like boneless wings you can get up there. Buffalo Wild Wings does not have good fucking wings. I don't care what
It's
anybody says.
gross. Last time I went there, it was shit.
I think
be
their
eating that,
burgers are better than their fucking wings.
Yeah.
Burgers are better.
Yeah.
They are
I
better. Burgers are actually surprisingly pretty good.
Yeah,
honestly.
like not bad.
I've been going to if I do eat out, I'll be like, let's go to OMC Smokehouse. It's
Mhm.
expensive and you get smallest portions, but at least you know you're getting decent food and like good meat. If you want like good cooked meat, I guess it's expensive. I just go there. That's the only place I'll go eat out at now.
How much are you talking like one person cost wise?
$20 at least.
25
Or-
at least. Like
So,
30.
it
Probably
sound-
more because I'm gonna get it. You know, I'm gonna be eating good if I'm going out. So
Yeah.
I'm probably spending like $35, $40. You know, just on myself. You know,
Yeah.
expensive as fuck.
Places down here are obviously more expensive, and there's a lot more like barbecue-esque and like meat places down here. And there's a place pretty close to us called Beast Barbecue. Destiny and I love it, but if we're going there, we can pretty much expect you're spending $100 for like, you know, it's like 50 per like, but it's like some of
Yeah.
the best meat and sides, like the mac and cheese is house made, everything. And OMC Steakhouse sounds similar to that. I haven't been there yet because they kind of opened right on the tail end of me leaving the twin ports, but
Yeah,
I'll
for
have to
two
try it out.
people, it was like 85 like a month ago. Like inexpensive. I picked
Yeah,
up
the
the
quality's really good. It's all the same family as Duluth Bar and Grill.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So
Hot take: Duluth Bar and Grill fucking sucks.
Never been there.
it's not worth the wait or the price.
It's not worth the wait or the
Or,
price,
you know.
and the food you get, dude. Okay, how about put some normal things on the menu? You know, like I'm all for like having specialty items, but you can't even get like a normal cheeseburger there. It's like, oh, well, this cheeseburger's got fucking peanut butter on it, pickled pears. We decided to put some fucking Asiago cheese on there.
That's what
It's like, can I
Tavern
just get
does.
something normal? Yeah,
Mhm.
like
Yeah, they put peanut butter on one of theirs. I'm like, why? It's fucking
that's
disgusting.
fine, but give me more than 3 options that are specialized, you know?
Well,
Mhm.
Duluth Grill, it's for the Twin Cities people. It's a tourist place now. It got popular, so they had to make it bougie.
Mm.
Yeah, it's very true. This kind of segues into like the next thing is like my weight loss journey right now has got me. I was telling Ricky in the Discord the other night. It's got me like food obsessive. Like I have been doom scrolling on Facebook pages that have recipes, and I'm like, I'm gonna cook this when I'm done. But like that's the one thing that's the one thing I don't want to happen though.
Like a fucking addict.
Yeah, dude.
Like what? Like what are you gonna like bake? Like sweets or
yeah,
like just
sweets
meat?
and meats, but also like I'm looking at recipes and I'm like,
Sweets and meats.
I know a way that I can make this like healthier in a way. Like I could use like different things but what I just don't want to happen is after this cut though, is I don't want to go back to eating like shit and undo everything I did because that's
Yeah.
what a lot of people do. So I got to go on to a maintenance right away, not a
That's what
bulk.
I've been saying. Like when I first started, I'm like, just get a diet you can stick with forever because I eat really good 6 days a week, 1 day a week. I don't know, man.
Cheat days are
20,000 calories right down the gullet, motherfucker. It's fine. It's just your body absorbs it all. No, but I've been really good. I eat literally 6 eggs a day every single day. I've been doing that for like a couple weeks now.
See, I don't do cheat
I hate
days.
it.
I haven't done a cheat day other than like having a Subway churro like last week. That was
Didn't they get rid of
160
them?
calories. No,
Now they got rid of them.
no, they added 3. They just brought these to Subway. Churros,
Huh.
a big long cookie, and a big
Oh, it
long
was
pretzel.
Costco. It was Costco that removed the churros. I just saw the
that
video
was a
on
big
that.
deal.
That's
And
what it
replaced
was.
with
It was
cookies,
a
and
big
people were
deal.
upset. Yeah.
Yeah, people were upset. Okay.
But
Yeah, I gotta try a churro.
no,
I haven't had a good churro yet, so I'm on the lookout for one.
since I'm gonna be in Duluth this weekend for lunch, I have told myself that I'm gonna go out to eat. I've been doing very well. I'm already 5.9 pounds down.
I don't know, man. I feel like you can get a much better meal if you just wait and do it down there. You know, what are you gonna go eat? Go to OMC. If you're gonna go, at least go to OMC. Where are you gonna go up here? Ain't nowhere good.
The reason why is because when we come up there, there's always somebody on our side of the family or Destiny's side of the family that wants to go treat us
go
to
out
like
to eat.
food. Yeah, and it's like I might as well line it up with that because
That's
I've
true.
only been doing this is gonna be the first cheat meal I'm doing. I'm not doing a cheat day. Like I literally already prepackaged my oatmeal and shit for the morning Friday.
Mm.
So
Good. Well, go to OMC if you're gonna go out. I
Yeah.
think you'd like it.
OMC or Faholic is really good as
Yeah,
well.
that's not bad.
Pretty relatively healthy too. I mean, pho is not
yeah.
it's not like a
It's
heavy meal.
No, it's filling because it's hot.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah.
Because
it's
like what's crazy
not
to
much
think
better.
about is like I still want to. It can be a cheat meal, but it's got to be within my means, right? So like, I don't want to go to Five Guys and get the double bacon cheeseburger and a medium fry and a drink. That's literally like 2,000 calories. So like that'd be like
Yeah, it was
all my
great.
calories
yeah.
for the day. Yeah, but it's good. But like if I'm gonna go out to eat wherever we end up going, it's probably gonna be some type of wrap, an omelet, whatever we end up going, whatever like the option I can get that isn't super high in calories. Because I'm still on a deficit, but I'm also gonna like remove some carbs from other meals of the day. I don't know. It's getting to be kind of fucking annoying, but I know that once I'm done with the cut and I go into the maintenance, things will be a little better. And I'm just gonna make sure I get my protein in and shit. So
Yeah, and your microvitamins. I joke and I say I eat a 10,000 calorie cheat meal, but it's 1,000 calories, if that. So that's my cheat meal, and it's been working out for me.
do you
Got
do
a
a
pretty
cheat
cut.
day though, like you were saying, or do you?
No, no, except for with the some days, I don't know. Maybe I ate a whole thing of Cadbury's one day. I don't know. Don't worry about it.
Cadbury eggs.
Don't even worry about it. All right, they're good.
Dude,
The little mini
I do
ones.
cheat
Yeah.
days. There's football on.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
have a beer. I want to have chips and dip.
Well, that's the
That's
rules.
fair.
If football UFC's on, calories don't count that.
That's
day.
what
This
that's
is
what
how it
Woody.
works.
Yeah, that's what Woody says on PK. Anything consumed during fights doesn't count. Like it just doesn't
Yeah, right?
exist.
It's like
No, it
drunk
doesn't.
cigarettes don't count.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. That's why I be smoking cigarettes. I'm drunk, so I'm like, I
Yeah,
smoke
doesn't
cigarettes.
count, doesn't count.
Doesn't. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know what's to put into me. Yeah,
Goes
yeah.
hand in hand.
That's a real
you-
thing. Yeah.
Oh, for
But-
sure. On the New Year's party, it was like 20s themed. So Aaron went and got a bunch
Oh
of,
yeah.
I think it's like American Spirits light brown, and they're
Yeah.
unfiltered because they didn't have
Mhm.
filters back then.
Yeah.
He could suck those down. Those were heavy. I
Yeah.
had a number of them, but I couldn't like suck it down. I was like, all right, I'm hanging out for a second.
Yeah. Right. Get you a little fucked up.
Oh
Yeah. I
yeah.
want to get one of those really long, like cigarettes, like the Victorian women would smoke. So it's got the long end on it.
Yeah, dude.
However long,
it's just a filter.
What do they
I think
call
they
it?
call it a filter.
Yeah, but it's
Or
like the
Henriette
holder.
has one.
Oh yeah, those
Well-
are bougie. But unironically, I'd use it, and then I'd talk a lot
Like
about
love.
crows or something.
What
they're
you
like
you've seen
yeah.
Fear? You've seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, he has one of that. Yeah,
That movie is ridiculous. Have you seen that movie,
goofy
Ricky?
movie.
I've seen a number of clips. I've never seen the whole movie through.
Yeah, like Johnny Depp and what's that guy's name? Anthony Banderas is in it. But
I don't
they're literally
remember.
just like tripping the whole time in Vegas, and he's got that fucking cigarette filter hanging out with the thing in the whole time, and
Yeah.
it's pretty funny. It's a good movie.
Tripping. They're in backcountry.
Yeah, they're in backcountry. Yeah,
Chris Thompson, classic. I want
yeah.
to read the book, but that's better.
Um,
Like most things.
But no, like I've even gotten to the point where I was about to order a fillable recipe book the other day. So, because I made cookies for a coworker like a week ago, and I kind of ate like 4 of them, and I like want to collect recipes in a book because I think that'd be fun. But I'm gonna wait till after the cut to see if that's still like something I want to do because I think it's just me being fat and wanting to cook whatever I want to eat, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
I mean,
Let me know what
have
sweets are
recipes.
gonna make. Yeah, I have a cookie recipe for like ginger like cookies or something that a lady at work made them, and I was like, let me get that recipe, and she gave it to me, but I haven't made them yet. I'm just holding off on them because I know I'll eat them all, so you can have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep all my recipes as screenshots on my phone. I have an album just for those
Oh, that's
screenshots of
smart.
recipes
Nice.
from
Yeah.
because you go on a recipe. God, that's what I hate. I'm sure you guys have ran into it. Maybe not. I don't know how you haven't, but you go look for a recipe and they give you like their life story, and
Yeah.
then you get
Oh.
how to do it, but really long steps, and then there's the
Yeah.
recipe.
That's
Yeah.
what
Hate
the
that.
that's what the girl at Target, she printed it out for me, but it has a life story. It's like 8 pages of nonsense. Yeah, when
Yeah.
I would come home, mom would be baking these cookies, and it really made me think. It really made me ignore the fact that I just got my ass whooped by my dad, and it's the
Yeah,
smell of
right.
that molasses
Like,
cooking up, and I'm like, what the fuck? What happened to
it was a
you? And I'm
warm
like,
Sunday afternoon when I first had these cookies on the coast.
And then it would be like, well, my husband loved these stuffed shells. I make them every other Friday, and I would like
Yeah,
to
right.
add
Yeah.
parsley in there and all types of fun seasonings and shit. Like, yeah, it just keeps going. It's like their whole life
They'll
story.
talk about their family and what they don't like and they
oh
like,
my
and this
god,
is why we actually really like this recipe.
Yeah, yeah, and
yeah,
it's
oh
like,
my god,
oh,
I've been
and
dying.
Oh,
it
I
feeds a
didn't ask.
family of 5. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. I'll
Um,
see that and I'll be finishing it. And I'm like, damn, all right, family of 5.
But
in my
that's kind
stomach.
of why those types of recipes, especially with this cookie one that I just made, I made cowboy cookies. That's the reason why I want to have my own book, so I can just transfer things and make the steps how they fucking should be, legible and to the point, and not without the life story, Because I think it just
Mhm.
also be cool to like have a cookbook that like you filled out. Yeah, they might be recipes you stole, but like maybe modified your way. But I
Mhm.
still think it's kind of cool.
Just publish
Mhm.
it anyway.
Publish it illegally, change
Yeah,
one ingredient, and
yeah, change
rename
one
them.
ingredient. Why
Just
can't you do
change the
that?
name of it, and that's
Yeah,
yours.
change the
I
name.
mean,
It's yours now.
Yeah.
yeah,
Just
it's
go.
like
You can just
music. Like
Google
every
AI.
recipe's been made, really.
Yeah,
It's
if
not
you
like
think
we're
about it,
discovering
everything's
new
been made.
foods.
It's gonna be made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone said
Yeah.
that about making music. Every beat's been made. It's gonna be made already,
Every
dummy.
beat. There was
Yeah.
I saw a cool story about a guy that like through AI or something made every beat ever
Oh yeah.
and trademarked it and then made it free so that people can't like
Yeah.
attack each other for.
Yeah. He had it like on. He made it on this like his own custom device. It was like this like black like bar or something, but it like made tones and shit, or it was something weird. But yeah, no, I
Yeah.
saw that. Vsauce had a video about that too.
Yeah,
Remember way
super
back in the
cool
day.
guy to do that.
Yeah,
Honestly,
shout out to that guy.
he
Yeah,
should have been a
that's
huge dickhead and just like it's all copywritten. Stole my beat.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Right. Just a dick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, that'd be funny. No, shout out that guy. That guy's sick.
for
Well,
sure.
speaking of fucking like bootlegging, I guess, and making stuff like that, you guys seen this Taylor Swift AI stuff that's been going around?
Oh my god, I have unfortunately.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah. So I never use Twitter, but today I go on Twitter and all I see is hashtag protect Taylor Swift, protect Taylor Swift. Then I'm scrolling down and I see Taylor Swift getting railed by Oscar the Grouch or something. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is what's happening. Paul,
Where
they're
she's
making
like
deep fakes.
straddling that pole or whatever.
Yeah,
They're
they're making
making
deepfakes of
deepfakes.
Taylor Swift. Some of them are a little sexier than the other ones, but a lot of them have to do with Sesame Street characters and fucking them and trash. So I don't know what's up with that, but it'd be so funny because people would be like, hashtag protect Taylor Swift, stop spreading this trash. And it'll be like, but if you do, post it in this thread. And it's all in, you just scroll up and it's all there. It's like,
Send me the link.
it's awful. It's me the link. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, protect her, but you're not really rooting for anyone else. There's a lot of other celebrities getting AI porn, but you don't care about them.
For sure. No, she's
Can't
so
care.
protected.
Just
It
protect
started
all.
because of football.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of football
It
based
was football
ones.
fans. She's
Yeah.
like all in the Chiefs colors, like whole body paint, but like naked, and fans that grow up in it. It's weird.
Yeah. It's
There's
weird.
a lot
stuff.
of it.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's unavoidable at this point. They can't
I am
ban it.
assuming there's probably a lot of that on Twitter, and I haven't been on there in like a week. Twitter was like my most used
Bro.
social media thing for a while.
Oh yeah. I
love
didn't
Twitter.
know. Like, just I don't know. Every gay person I've interacted with now use Twitter. So now I use Twitter, but that's like a gay thing to use Twitter. And I don't know. I have to manage. I have to like make a new Twitter and shit because my Twitter's a lot of foul posts and shit. This Paul, Twitter's awesome. You get the UFC highlights right away. You get the fucking Ukraine footage. You get the the cartel footage. You get fights, knockouts, people getting hit with chairs in the heads, and the heads spit open. Shit.
Israel and
raw.
Palestine.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
Israel,
raw. You get some
Palestine.
raw stuff. Yeah.
That's where I watch a lot of fish tank clips. Actually,
Yeah,
Yeah.
fish tank right on there after a minute. Something
Mhm.
happens. It's goated.
I will say,
I used to hate X for a while. I don't know why I called it X. That's so fucking dumb. They
So-
got me.
Right?
I said I'd never call it X, and they got me. They broke me down.
Yeah.
But I'm on the Twitter train now.
You know,
have to
I
make a
never
new
got
one.
into I never really fully got into Reddit. Like I have a Reddit account and I have a few like subreddits that I follow, but I don't go on there at all really. And everybody was like, this is the best place to get quick clips. And like I just never caught on for me. But then like now I'm like Twitter's like way better at getting the you get the immediate clips and highlights of things you want to see. I just feel like the algorithm's better. Reddit for me, it's like I know you can go to like /all or go to your home and scroll through the things you like, but for some
Yeah.
reason to me it's kind of just like not straightforward. Like it's just
No,
like
it's
you
not.
have to go to that subreddit to see specific
Well,
things, and it's like I'd rather just kind of see a big mash of things like Twitter.
The algorithm.
it's you can't get the
Yeah.
highlights in UFC because people are gonna talk about their opinions, so it's like a bunch of posts versus Twitter. You can kind of filter that. I only go on Reddit to see how much I hate like a music's fan base. Go check out that G59 subreddit. You'll be like, I don't like the Suicide Boys anymore. I swear to God. Slipknot subreddit. I don't like Slipknot anymore. Like, stay away from any music
The
subreddit.
PK,
Is my opinion.
the podcast subreddits are pretty
Stay
funny.
away from those. Stay away from those. They're bad. They're gonna make you
so
hate. Yeah.
funny.
They're gonna. It's like that glass wall thing in How I Met Your Mother. Once someone tells you about it, you can't unsee it. Like someone chewing loudly. Once you notice they're chewing loudly, it's all over. So just don't even look at it. Don't expose. Don't ruin yourself. That's my little
I never
tip.
got
Stay
into
away
Reddit.
from Reddit.
Yeah. Never,
I don't
never got
know.
into it. I've used it a lot for troubleshooting certain weird.
Oh, same.
weird
It's
things.
great
Sure, yeah.
for IT
Great
stuff.
for that. Mhm.
It's great for IT stuff.
Who had this problem? Some guy 12 years ago. He's
Yeah,
like, I had
one
that.
guy.
Here's how to
One
fix it.
guy
Yeah.
in one response, not upvoted, but it's the exact thing you got to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just goated. Yeah.
Dude, I literally use it for my job. Like sometimes when I'm like stumped on an issue and I don't feel like opening up a ticket with Microsoft or whatever the problem is, I'll just go on Reddit and type that thing in or just like type Reddit in after the Google search, and some guys encountered it.
Reddit right
yeah.
after.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Nice.
it's a quick tip out
troubleshooting is
there
a
for you
lifesaver.
IT guys. Yeah.
They already do that. Don't they all steal their stuff anyway? Those coding guys, they haven't done work in years, right?
Well, they got to
don't-
start now. AI is going to replace them.
I don't
Yeah,
I
right,
don't know.
exactly.
I'll say this right now, like I've been seeing, and Ricky knows this, there's been a lot of tech layoffs, even for smaller companies lately. And
Oh, yeah.
like a lot of the only jobs that are safe right now are cybersecurity, data and software engineers, and like cloud engineers and AI engineers. Like those four, and there's probably a couple I'm forgetting subdivisions that are also safe. But dude, like I'm not scared I'm gonna lose my job, but every day I'm looking, like just now, like Jamf, the software company out of Minneapolis, they have a ton of remote employees. They're the ones that make the MDM for managing Macs. Like we use it at our company. It's like basically like an endpoint management system. They just laid off like 6% of their staff, which isn't a ton, but it's like I'm seeing them and now all these other smaller companies lay off staff, and like I'm just like, ugh. Like I mean, like I'm a systems admin guy, so like I think I'm fine, but you never know.
Yeah,
man.
you're fine. You're fine. They're trimming fat.
Yeah,
I mean, you hear about there was so much bloat in tech because HR and management didn't know what people did.
yeah,
Like they didn't know. And so a lot of not all of them, obviously not all of them, but a lot of people that the last 2 years, because this is like the second round of tech layoffs in this recession that was supposed to be.
yeah.
A lot of them weren't doing anything. They weren't
Yeah.
doing anything. You
It's
know?
not working shit. Yeah.
They're not doing anything. Whereas if they got rid of Paul, it would be immediately known that you
Right.
were doing shit.
That
you know?
and that's what I think about too. I'm like, oh, will I get laid off or something? But then it's like I'd have to do something
No.
really bad because I put in place a lot of the things they have working right now, and there isn't many other people, if not any people, that know the entire extent or are cross-trained on the stuff that I manage.
Right. If you're work from home and you get up at 10 and you have about 3 emails and a big group meeting at the end, and then you go back to bed or something, then chances are
you're
high
probably,
that you're the fat that needs to get trimmed.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you're busy, if you're actually doing something and busy, and if you probably won't get laid off. And if you do, you could probably find another job because you actually did something.
Yeah.
Right.
for
Yeah.
sure.
No, for real. Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It has been like slower since we aren't hiring as much, but there is still always tech issues to fix or things to implement.
Mhm.
I mean, like there's like, yeah, sure. We have a slow day here and there. What do I do at that time? I end up like researching things to like better the things we have in place, improve myself. And like one thing I'm going to kind of focus on this year is getting more certs, even though I don't really need them. But if the company's willing to pay for them, might as well get them. So
Hmm.
For sure.
That's
Certs are
good.
awesome.
yeah,
Certs look great.
I was really on the page when I graduated that certs were a fucking crock of shit unless your employer paid for them. And now I'm in the boat where I'm like, yeah, certs are great, but still only if your employer pays for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah. I I'm really that was the biggest thing for me with WGU is, it's one thing to pass a class like at LSC you'd pass your A plus hardware software whatever. But to pass at WGU, you have to get the cert. You
Yeah.
take all the things and then you say I'm ready to take the test and you don't pass the class unless you get the cert, which I really and
Yeah.
they'll pay for it, which I
Yeah.
really like.
See, that's awesome. And I really wish I would have gotten my credit for that. But that's one thing I literally have on my list is to get my A plus hardware and software. But I already think just to have it. But I already think like my bot, because we're going over like yearly goals now. It's that time of year. And I already think my boss is going to be like, no, you should just get Network Plus and Project
Yeah,
Plus. And I'm like,
that's
okay.
that's what I was about to say. I was like,
Yeah.
skip that.
Yeah.
That test sucks. It's so nitty gritty, and you don't need to memorize everything that's in there. It's crazy how nitty gritty it is. Network
Yeah.
Plus is way more applicable. And
Yeah.
if you can get Network Plus, then you could do, a.
Yeah, exactly. And I also was thinking of getting Project Plus because it's kind of like it's have you heard of Project Plus that they have?
Mm-mm.
It's literally
Is the
like
CompTIA one?
yeah, it's a CompTIA. I was looking at it the other day because I was looking at certs, and it's literally for like people that are in IT or going into IT managerial roles and how to manage IT projects. And like I don't
That
really
sounds
know a ton
great.
about it. Yeah, but I'm like, damn, that sounds like kind of a good cert to have. I don't know the entire extent of it,
Absolutely.
but and then I'm gonna get one more Apple related. So I have Jamf certs. I'm getting one Apple cert, and then I'm done with that for a while. I'm gonna get the Apple certified endpoint manager or something, support something. I don't know. It's like their basic cert you can take, just to say I have it, kind of deal.
Hmm.
Y-
But
Flex
You
on
know,
them.
speaking of Apple, I felt really dumb the other day. I was doing a Linux class, and I was going through doing whatever some commands, and I was like, wait a second, these are the same. Apple is just they just rip Linux. They just
it's
put a skin
just
on Linux.
literally, yeah.
It blew my mind. I was like, how did I never put this together ever? How
It's
did I
Unix.
never
It's
put
all
that
it
together?
is.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm like, I've done this before. When did I do this? That stupid math class. What the hell?
Mhm. Mm.
Yeah, there
So
are
that
some.
surprised me.
Yeah, there are some things that are a little different, but yeah, it's literally just
For
a
sure.
shell
But the
secure version.
foundation is
Yeah,
yeah.
just Linux.
It really surprised me. I
Unix,
was like,
yeah.
really? Okay. I thought they were their own thing this whole time. I never paid attention to it.
Yeah, I prefer scripting on Linux or Mac OS based systems as opposed to PowerShell because it just makes way more sense to me. PowerShell's
I
fucking kind of toaster language, but
I don't disagree. I've just used PowerShell more. PowerShell is dangerous. I mean,
it
all of them
is.
are.
Yeah, they all are. Um, but yeah, no, I think yeah, I'm gonna be looking at getting more certs this year. I'm kind of looking forward to it, oddly enough, is because like after I
No,
already
it's
got these
fun.
other ones, it's like, well, I just like to like
Yeah.
Mhm.
stack up that
It's
list of
like you
certs.
get
Yeah.
like a little degree. Some people will have them all over their wall. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
seen this.
Yeah.
They'll have them. They'll have each one is is up in
See, now
in
that's
a
a good
frame.
idea because I
Mhm.
have all like it's down in a box somewhere because I didn't hang them up at this place. When I get the house, I have all like my diploma and everything in really nice frames like from school.
Nice.
But now I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I also got my Jamf certs I can print off now and just
Yeah.
like
Mm,
stack them
yeah.
on the wall, just like
You
an
ever
entire
Yeah,
wall of
dude.
accolades.
like a Walmart
Why not?
poster display? You can fan through them, you know? That'd be
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Get one of those.
They're really enlarged and
Yeah.
horizontal.
They're stretched out. Yeah, they're like
Yeah,
poster
it's super
size. Yeah.
pixelated. Yeah.
All fucked up. That'd be cool.
Yeah, dude. Certs are awesome. The only cert that I'm really worried about that I haven't started that class for yet is Sec Plus. I'm not looking forward to that at
Ooh,
all.
that's gonna be a hard one.
That's all I've heard is that it's near impossible. And I download a quick little like study guide that someone did, and it has a bunch of again on Reddit. It has a bunch of uploads. So like, thank God. And I open it. It's a PDF, and I'm scrolling and I'm scrolling. And I'm like, holy shit!
Is that what
This
you have
study
to
guide is like,
re-up?
well, yeah, a lot of them you have to re-up every 3 years if you
Yeah.
wanted to. But once you get it, most employers don't.
Yeah.
unless it's super specialized. But yeah, sec you have to re-up every 3 years. Just like what's the other one? It wasn't necessarily hard. It was just like the most. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. But it's one
J-
that both me and Jack was the hardest test I ever took in my life. I passed by one. I'm a really good test taker, so I was like, I was in the halfway into the test, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this isn't, this isn't it."
yeah.
What the hell was it? It was just, it was a way of communicating. It's just a streamlined way that a lot of, especially hospital ITs. What the fuck was it called? Anyways. But that was
Yeah.
just, it was just the dumbest language. It was how to communicate with people and different vectors of how systems will go. Problem here, then it goes to there, and you have to have all of this crap memorized. Oh
Okay.
my god, what was it called? And I
Um,
never want to re-up that in my entire life. I need to be done and have a job before that because I never want to re-up it ever.
the only one I have that has an expiration on it is my latest one. Jamf 200 does expire in 3 years or whatever, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever go get my Jamf 300 and my 400 because I don't think my employer really. We don't really need it for our use case. Sure, if we were to just happen to balloon and have as many Macs as we do PCs, then maybe it would be worth it. But that's where you get into more of the scripting side of things and automation side of things, which I already have a lot of things automated, so I'd probably do fine on it. But you know how
Mm,
it is. The real world's always way different than what you're actually doing on the test. The test is just the base knowledge of and how things work on a more technical level, term wise and everything.
mhm.
Um,
Yes.
but other than that, the only cert I'm considering getting this year is Intune related certs in Azure Cloud or
Azure would be really good.
Microsoft Intra, basically. But Intune is just as important as Intune to me. If you're a systems admin, I think is almost more important than Azure because
Yeah, I can
it's
imagine.
the actual device management side of things. But
Azure would let you step into other areas.
oh yeah, because it's basically just well AD but in the cloud. They're getting so close. They're getting so close. We're getting so close to not having to have local ADs anymore. That's like our company's goal is to have that the only server we have on site's a local AD, a domain controller. That's it. Has a few other Hyper-Vs on it for some small utility things, but um,
But
they want to put it all in the cloud, but we're just not there yet because they don't really have a solid. There are solutions, but they're extremely expensive. Because you know what Radius is for networks. They don't
mhm.
have a solution for Radius in the cloud that works like super effectively. So a lot of guys are still they're using
Is
Azure as like
yeah.
their domain controller, but they still have to run the Radius server on locally because
Is
it's free. All these other cloud options are super expensive.
yeah, is Radius the Cisco one, or is that Tacos?
I think it's just like a known term, like Radius server. It's just like like Cisco has an option for it. We're actually right now trying to get a quote for them of their like cloud radius or whatever they call it. I can't remember what it's called. Um, but yeah, it's really expensive. That's why. Because what we don't want is we don't want people having to come in and type in a Wi-Fi password. That is absolutely no. Because that's what Radius does. Is it puts a cert on your computer and your computer just auto connects to the
Mhm.
Wi-Fi and it's like all good, you know. But nerd stuff.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
hmm
Um,
I don't know. I didn't know a single word of anything you just said there.
that's all right.
I just said computer. I knew what that meant.
Yeah. No,
Computers are expensive.
they are. It's not that entertaining. I got a couple more things I want to talk about here real quick. So I am at the stage in buying the house where I have signed the purchase agreement. I'm locked in.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
not locked in, but not locked in on my rate. So that's one thing is I talked to my lender and she's like, you can lock in 2 weeks prior to closing. She's like, you can opt in. I'll send you an email every single day and tell you what the interest rates are at. So for the last 2 days, they've been at 6.5% for 30 years. Now, the lowest they were is when I initially got a pre estimate late in December. They were at 6.25%. That's pretty good for right now, but it's not at that anymore. So I'm playing a risky game right now because I haven't locked in my rate. And the Federal Reserve meets at the end of every month, the 29th and 30th, and that's when they decide if they're like what they're going to do with rates, whether they're going to hike them up a little bit, keep them the same, or lower them. So I'm just going to pay real close attention. I'm going to hold out to the 29th, 30th. And if they say we're going to raise them, I'm going to immediately be like, lock. Like, I'm going to email her and just be like, lock it at whatever it's at. But if they say they're going to lower them, then I'm probably going to wait a week or so, see where it kind of dips, and then gauge it from there. But I don't know if I'm playing I mean, I could always refi down the road. We all know this. But I just don't want to, like, fuck myself and have them shoot up. I don't know.
I don't think they're going to raise it. I think they're going to keep it the same.
I think it's going to be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. But remember, no one knows what's going to happen. But everybody I hear from, and again, this doesn't even matter, it's a grain of salt, is that by around this time next year, you're going to be looking at about 5%, if not a little under 5. But I don't know if that's going to be, you never know.
Possibly. I mean, they definitely won't hike it. The worst case scenario is to keep it flat. People are all shaky because the GPD only grew like 3.3%, which is not great for the country.
Yeah.
Which is good for people that want to borrow money because the Fed says, we need more money.
Yeah.
So they'll make money cheaper, usually.
Yeah.
So that also usually coincides with a recession.
Yeah. And if you go look, you can go look at like every website's a little different because also remember your rate also entirely depends on your credit score, right? So like I think regularly right now they're like 7.5 or something for most people. That's like the worst you can get. But with my credit, I can get like 6.5 today if I wanted to, right? But you go look back at like the entire scale of the interest rates and like 2023, just this last October 26th, you were looking at 7.72%. And then it's just slowly come down since then. And then it hit that weird 6.2 mark around like late December. And now it's just going like this. It's just like a little like up, down, up, down, up, down. But no, I don't think it's going to crack 7 again, in my opinion.
No, I don't think so.
Average.
The economy would have to be really hot and they'd have to.
Yeah. And people aren't buying houses right now. People are not like no one's really buying it. There's still like not enough housing, but I just think people have like since everything has happened with the housing market, even though interest rates have come down a little bit, everyone's like, just fuck this. I'm just gonna wait for wait even longer. I think people are just not wanting to get into that.
Have to pay student loans again starting last October.
Yeah, that's very true. Like I'm still paying my student loans.
Yeah,
I've even been considering
they didn't have to for the last three years, so it was like free money.
Yeah. I was thinking about literally like when I move, getting a second job on the weekends just to like get the loans out of here. Just like I want them gone kind of deal. I mean, I know I could still pay them off fine now, but I just like, I'd rather just like get them gone as quick as possible. Cause there are things I want to do. I want to improve the house. I want to get a nicer car,
Yeah, that's totally fair. I was a sucker and paid off my student loans from LSC like as quickly as possible because I have this weird thing with debt.
Oh, I get it.
But I do feel like, I don't know, with Henriette, I'm like, pay the fucking minimum. It's gonna be some political tactic, and they're gonna try. It's gonna be gone. It's already started to crumble. They're gonna be gone. I tell her that, but I don't have, like for WGU, I just pay for it out of pocket. I get a grant, and I just pay for it out of pocket. I'm not gonna take on the loan, but it's good to get rid of them. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah, like I don't even have. Like my plan was if I wasn't buying a house right now, my plan was to take my yearly bonus and just throw that at the loans and they'd pretty much nearly be gone. I'd honestly take the rest out of pocket. But now that I'm putting a down payment down on a house, I can't really do that. Like I could, but I also don't want to be dead broke, pay off all my loans and then go right into a house. Like that'd be really stupid of me. So I'm still paying above the minimum payment. Like I'm paying double the minimum payment each month, which is fine. But yeah, I don't know. They'll go away eventually. I'll get rid of them. But like, I just kind of like, I'm in that stage right now where I'm like, I kind of just want these fuckers gone. I mean, I was like you, when I first took them out, I'm like, I'm going to pay these off immediately. And then things happened. Like the loans were up in the air and just like now they're not. And now the repayments started last fall. So it's kind of like a weird spot. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. There are a ton of people paying for them. That being said, though, I got my house inspection set up here for this weekend, so that's going to be interesting.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, the guy's just gonna like come over. Hey, yeah, nice to meet you. First look, he just like looks under the house or something. He's like, all right, he's just like this. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. How about you don't pay me? I don't inspect the rest of the house. I leave right now, and I just tell you not to buy this house. Like it's just there's something wrong with it that we all missed or something. I doubt it, but I feel like that'd be pretty funny. But no, I think that's gonna go fine. I already know a lot of the things he's gonna ding because like the homeowners have already told me like, hey, like this needs to be fixed, but it's not like a severe problem. Like I just know they're gonna say something about it. And it's not like I'm doing an FHA inspection. Those guys are really sticklers because I'm doing a conventional loan. Those guys will be like, oh, there's paint chipping on the outside of your garage. If you don't paint that, we're not giving you the loan. Like it's just like
Right.
they're very so this guy was one of my brother's inspectors. He seems like pretty straightforward and honest. So I think hopefully everything's gonna go well. But if he finds something wrong, that's why he's there, right? He's kind of there to save my ass. That's why I'm paying him. So
Should be a job that shouldn't exist, right? I bought the home. I'm going to live in the home, and you're not going to tell me if it's wrong or right.
I don't have to do an inspection.
The black hole in the basement. All right, leave it alone. It leaks all the time. Leave it alone. All right, I don't care. It's a dangerous hazard. That's called the shock wire. Just don't touch it. Or look at it. It emits a bright arc. Just don't look at it. Yeah, I don't understand. That's so dumb to me. That's a scam. Paul, you're getting scammed, I think.
That I don't have to do a home inspection. You can just skip it. Because it's $350, and that's pretty cheap for peace of mind, knowing that you're not buying a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was like a state mandated thing.
No, that's if you get it.
It's certain loans.
It's certain loans.
Okay.
Yeah. And they send like a guy in.
Well, never mind. You're playing it smart then, I guess.
Yeah. Well, this guy could come in and be like, this joist is about to collapse and the entire house is going to cave in. That would save my ass, right? Now, I don't think anything like that would happen. Because the house is in pretty good shape. I've been through it twice already. Once with my brother, who knows what kind of things to look for. And he said it's in overall really decent shape. Like there are a few things here and there which we know need to probably get fixed, but they're not like immediate. Like you need to do this right away. But you also know that like the inspection goes great. I buy the house. Anything can happen, dude. Like that's why you gotta have. I tell everybody like you gotta have a good bank of cash when you go into buying a house. In case something happens, like at least 10 to 15 grand just on the side in case something fucking just stops working or needs an immediate repair. Because 10 to 15 grand won't get you every fix, but it will get you a majority of fixes that could happen. So
it's your lifeline. And if you can't have it, you need to bake it as long as you can make the payment. If you don't use it, just bake it into the mortgage.
Yeah.
You have to have cash available.
Yep, exactly. And what I don't like is that, like, if you do want to refi down the road, you have to pay closing costs again. I think that's kind of fucking sus, but whatever. It's like $6,000 every time you want to refi, which you don't really want to refi though. Like I'd probably, if I was to buy the house at say 6.5% and they go down to like under 5 by next year or something, then I'd probably refi. But it'd have to be a decent percentage,
It's got to pay for itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Quickly.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever get to like 2s ever again.
I don't think so.
2s and 3s. I don't think ever again.
Oh, no. Well. God, this guy I work with locked in at like 2.2 right before the pandemic. And I was like,
that's an asset in itself. It's insane.
Yeah. I'm like, you don't ever sell that fucking house. Like, you just keep it and pay it off and fucking rent it out or something. Buy a different one after that.
Yeah, never pay over on that.
Hell no. But no, getting excited. I'm getting really excited. I can't wait to kind of furnish the place, go get like new furniture and some things once we get it. I think everything's going to work out. Yeah.
Do you have a plan on where you're going to put stuff? Like which rooms are going to be office, which rooms going to be bedroom, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. We kind of have like an idea. So there are 2 rooms in the basement that I think I told you were like semi-finished. They're sheetrock. They have drop ceilings. They just need like, the floor probably needs to be like epoxy enameled, right? Or something, like in the basement. But Destiny wants one of those rooms, the one with the closet. She wants it to be like her space so she can have a space. I'm like, great, have that space. The other room down there could either be like, I was thinking a home gym because I was like, oh, I could put the home gym in the garage. But then I'm like, then it's kind of unusable in the winter unless I heat the garage. And I'm not willing to do that right away because it's kind of expensive. I was just going to like focus on inside. I'm focusing on the house first before the garage. The upstairs attic is half finished. It's got HVAC. That was going to be the podcast studio, like the in-person studio. So whenever we do this again, you'll probably be like coming over or something if you want to do it like not virtually.
Sweet.
But the other half of the attic is like cold storage, and I could easily like knock that wall out. And my brother said for a couple grand, sheetrock it, and then just have like an entire big area up there. It's sheetrock it insulated. So there's a bunch of ideas. The master bedroom will be on the main floor where that is, and then there's like this little alcove area that's finished on the first floor that would be like a good open office area for me to work. But yeah, we've already kind of gotten things mapped out. The living room is honestly my main focus because to me that's like the heart of the house, like because of how it's like set up. Like whenever anybody comes in, they're gonna be coming in like at the living room, and so like I want that to be bitching. Like it's already kind of like set up. I already have a brand new couch here. They make a matching big recliner with that couch, so I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna buy us 2 new end tables, a new coffee table, and an entertainment center. Got a fucking wall mount for the TV. It's gonna be
Do not let Destiny or even yourself get one of those placards that are like, "This is our family." A little bit of crazy, a little bit of loud, a little bit of us. I will take it down because mom has those or over a house. Welcome to our house. We love everything here. I'm like, I hate that. It just makes me hurt inside. Don't get like nothing that says "Fi" on the wall in big like acrylic letters or anything.
No.
We're not gonna allow that.
No.
It's gonna be classy, and I'm gonna decorate your house.
Italicized.
Yeah, italicized.
So I think my house, and this is all obviously all dependent on Destiny's taste as well, is I want it to. I'm trying to get rid of like kid-like things like that, like stuff like that's gonna go like in the podcast studio. Whereas like the house itself, living room, kitchen, bathroom, I want to have like old school metal signs, like antique stuff. Like I want to buy something from Chamanic's house, like a nice glass bowl or something, put that on the table. Like I'm also really into, and I think a lot of people hate this, but like the Art Deco but Sputnik era of stuff where things were really like almost 80s and 70s ish, like bulbous and stuff, like lamps and stuff. I like that shit.
No, that's sick.
Yeah, and so
like the squid kind of lamp looking
yeah,
things?
yeah, and like the Sputnik,
awesome.
like you know the vintage light bulbs that everybody's getting now. Like you can get those fixtures that are like all crossed. Like I want that type of shit. I like that stuff a lot. So that's kind of going to be the vibe I'm going for. Now the living room is basically already been painted. It's like this but a little bit of a darker blue, so it would kind of go well with anything. It's pretty like neutral.
I just beg you, and it's fine if that's your taste, but if it's not, just don't get sucked into the. I don't know if you've seen millennial gray. I've seen so many new houses that everything is just gray or white, like everything.
The end table, like the coffee table, the entertainment system set is gonna be like a rustic gray, and they have like it's like a barn door style thing. Now everybody's saying like barn doors are kind of on the way out, like the sliding doors, but this is just like on the entertainment stuff, and I like that kind of rustic look. But no, it's like a washed gray, like old wood. It's supposed to look like old wood kind of deal. But no, the outside of the house is gonna be getting painted this summer, and it's gonna be probably like a blue or a green. It isn't going to be a gray. I want it to have a little bit of fun to it, you know?
Yeah, have life in your house.
Yeah.
Not just go in and just get sapped of all your energy. Oh, it's very sterile in here and kind of cold.
Yeah. Like the alcove area that was repainted is like almost like a brighter orange, like a dull orange, which I think is kind of cool. And the basement rooms are bright orange, and we don't like that. We want to actually paint the basement rooms because it's just kind of like weird. If you saw it, you'd be like, why are they orange down in the basement? But it makes more sense upstairs. I don't know. Lots of ideas. Really excited. I know I've been talking for a while, but is there any other topics you guys wanted to talk about? Anything you want to bring up?
No,
nothing in particular. Go Lions.
Might be able to call it a show. Yeah. I don't know. I don't got much else. I will touch on stuff next cast, but I think I'm good for right now.
Okay. Well, hey Ricky, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate you hopping on here. Last minute. Everybody, stay tuned. We're having Gutterball 100. And springtime sometime. It's going to be a good episode. We'll have a lot of guests, so
it'll be great.
Oh yeah.
Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that. Sorry for the lack of energy. A wave of nausea hit me like 20 minutes ago. I feel like I'm gonna fucking throw up. So, but other than that, I'm doing great right now. I'm like in a cold sweat. Just gripping onto my chair. I got like fucking grip. No, I'm okay. But yeah, no, I appreciate y'all watching. No, I appreciate that. We got some technical talk. Hopefully you learned a little bit about housing market, and whatnot. But that's all I gotta let Paul take it. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. Thank you so much again, Ricky, everybody. Thank you so much for the support. If you want to come on the cast, get at us at gutterballbusiness@gmail.com. That was Gutterball 84. Have a great weekend. Whoa.